Hey guys, so we are on video number 3 of the day. So I am going to show you the long-awaited and much promised video on how I make the beans that I make every week for my husband, and we use them for many different things. So I have my Ninja Foodi cooker here. As you can see over there, I'm about to make some beer battered shrimp and fish. So I'm letting my oil come to temperature. Everything's over there sitting ready to go here in just a few moments. I'm going to turn this down though. I want it to give me some time. Okay, so I'm going to get these beans started, and then I'll go over there and get the fish going. And I don't know if you want to see the fish, but I might give you just a peek of a little bit of how I do it. So I'm going to show you first like exactly what we are going to need for our beans. I have here 1 pound of beans. These have been soaked for about an hour and a half in hot water. Then they've been rinsed and washed. So these are soaked and clean, but I didn't soak them overnight. I only soaked them for about an hour and a half. Because you're pressure cooking them, it doesn't have to be overnight soak. I have 4 ounces of salt pork, and so we're going to render that. I'm going to turn my Foodi on, and I put it on sear saute high, and we're going to just drop this in here. And like while I tell you everything else we're going to need for this, those can start rendering down. So we're going to crisp up that, or let that bacon fat and that ham. It's salt pork, so we're just going to let it cook up. You can use bacon, you can use ham hock, you can use any kind of that type of protein that you would like in your beans. In this bowl, I have a mixture of 4 teaspoons of this pinto bean seasoning. We have 1 teaspoon of chili powder. We have a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You can omit this if you don't like spicy. I also have a 1 teaspoon of cumin, or cumino, or however you call it. I have 1 can of Rotel tomatoes and chilies, just the regular. You can get the hot if you like it extra spicy. And then I'm giving you 2 options. Sometimes I use sriracha, but the preferred by my husband is the Cholula. So I'll just put some of this, dashes of this in to taste, and that avoids him having to put hot sauce on his breakfast tacos or his tostadas or whatever I'm making with the beans. So I have a plethora of things I use these beans for. I have some videos coming up showing you what different meals I'll make through the week using the beans. I'm also going to make a video on the rice. So I make the rice and the beans every week, and then we use it throughout the week for him. No, these are not keto. This is not a keto video. All right, so we're going to get this rendered up. I'm going to get all of this in the pot, and we're going to put 5 cups of water. Then we're going to put this on pressure, and we're going to pressure cook this on high for 30 minutes. And then we're going to let it sit on warm natural release for about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. It just depends on how long it takes me to get the fish ready. So I'm going to get this all together. As soon as I've got this rendered down, I'll show you everything as I put it into the pot. It's not really rocket science. Hey guys, I thought, well, while the ham is rendering down, I'd give you a quick peek of my setup that I have here. I have my deep fryer, and this does have coconut oil in it. This is a package of, it's Louisiana beer batter. So it's not like it's a recipe that I've made. I have a cup of some cheap beer, because you're just gonna cook with it. You just mix 1 cup of beer in with this, you whisk it up, and that is, you're just gonna batter up your fish and shrimp, which I have here on a paper towel to kind of dry out. So these are the jumbo shrimps. I got these from Kroger's. They were from the freezer. They came deveined and daled and all the things. This fish said caught, I don't know, with last fishing trip. I'm not sure, but we have a freezer full. So anyways, I'm going to give that a stir. I'm just going to whisk this up, and I will start frying my shrimp. I got to get a pan lined with a paper towel for the cooked shrimp and fish as it comes out. But I'll give you a progress update later. I used some foil paper right here, so as I'm taking the battered fish and shrimp into the grease, and I'm not getting a mess all over, not having the drippy batter all over the place, guys. So anyways, that's what I'm up to. So I'm just gonna get this mixed up. I'm gonna stir our ham and get that rendered down, and then I'll get started on frying up all this fish and shrimp. So I'm multitasking. All right guys, we're back over here at the Ninja Foodi. Just a little bit too close there. And we are, let's see if this is zoomed out. No, wrong way. There we go. See how and it's okay if it gets those little bits on the bottom, that's fine. It makes flavor, so we're just gonna let this continue to cook out a little bit. All right, So now we're gonna start adding in all of our stuff. So it doesn't matter. I'm gonna turn off the sear saute at this point. I'm just gonna pour our beans in. This is really a dump and go in all of our seasoning mix that I told you about earlier. Our can of Rotel goes right in there. And then we have our 5 cups of water. All right, so we got everything everybody's in the pool. We're just gonna give this a quick stir. We're gonna put our pressure lid on here. If you have an Instant Pot, same thing. If you have a Dutch oven, you can do this on a stove. It'll take just a couple hours. But we're gonna just get this set to temperature. Remember to get it turned on, get it up to pressure. And I set it on pressure, high. We're gonna set it on 30 minutes. And then we're gonna start this. Make sure your lid is locked. But you can do this absolutely in a slow cooker even, or in just, you know, cook it till doneness, or you can do it, you know, a million different ways. So that's how I do the beans. I'll show you back later on when they're done, but for right now, I'm going to fry some fish. I'll check in with you, try our buzzer. Sorry about that. All right, guys, I'm gonna just show you a little glimpse of how I do this. So I just take some shrimp or some fish. I do the shrimp usually first, and then the fish. And then I just do 3 or 4 at a time. I use a fork. I dunk them in the, and you always want to let as much of the excess batter run off as possible, because you're just wasting it. It's going to turn to those crunchies that are going to be all over in your fry basket. And then just let them fall into the grease. Don't let them splash, guys. I've done that before. It's bad news. And then I'll get my long tongs and flip them around a couple times. Try to make sure they don't stick together. Sometimes they'll sink to the bottom. Try to stick to the grate. You just give it a shake. If you don't have a fryer, you know, like again, a Dutch oven or a heavy skillet, cast iron would be great. You just put some oil in, and you can just make you some beer battered fish. I did order these on my Instacart order. This is the last one I have. I tried to reorder today when I ordered it, and literally these take not even 2 or 3 minutes a piece to cook. So I'm just going to continue to fry these up. Fish is probably about 5 minutes. Just kind of depends. I have my oil at 375 degrees. Coconut oil can withstand that heat. You cannot deep fry in olive oil, guys. If you are keto, I do have a keto fish and chips video on my page that does have a tempura batter, which is much like a beer batter. You could make it with like Michelob Ultra low carb beer, but I use the club soda. So you definitely check that video out. It is a keto friendly version, and you could have this fish and chips or fish and shrimp meal on your table, but with keto on low carb. Okay guys, I'm gonna quit recording for now. I don't want this video to be too long. The beans are all doing this magic thing. I'm gonna fry up all these shrimp and fish, and we'll be done with it. Well, hey guys, here we are. The beans are done. They turned out perfect. I let them sit for about 40 minutes on natural release, and I unpressured the machine, took the lid off. They're cooked to the perfect doneness. I'm gonna get some scoops out of here to make for Sid's breakfast tacos, and then I'll get the rest put in my big Pyrex bowl to go up into the refrigerator, and they will become breakfast tacos, tostadas, some beans, and I'm gonna make rice, so he'll have beans and rice with some fajitas one day, just like charro beans, just like this. And if you want more spice, just add some more hot sauce. You know, it's all to your liking. But this is how I make my beans every Sunday, and within the week we use them up. I don't eat them personally, but Sid loves them in so many different ways. The sauce will thicken as this comes down, you know, as it cools down. So here's my beans, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'm going to get his breakfast made, which I have a video for you already of how I make his breakfast tacos using these beans. And then your girl just fried up like all of that shrimp and fish. Yeah, shrimp and fish for days. So we're going to get his lunch made with those fish and shrimp, and he's gonna have some tonight for dinner. I am going to make chicken with mushrooms, peppers. I'm gonna make a video of something that I'm making for me for dinner. It's a keto meal, but in the meantime, I'm gonna let you go. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Give it a big thumbs up. Comment to me down in the description box below of what you thought of the recipe, what kind of recipes you'd like to see from me. I know this is not a keto recipe, but I thought since I have so many family members now that are not keto, I would do my blended diet videos. My husband is not keto and I am. So I'll have some videos that are non-keto and I'll have keto videos. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I say, and I always mean with my whole heart, thank you so much.